for Captain America Brave New World, I knew exactly how I wanted it to look. I wanted to look like as shredded as Bruce Lee. Hi, I'm Danny Ramirez, and today I'm gonna show you what my diet looks like and how it affects my training. Top Gun and Captain America Brave New World had completely different diets for me, where Top Gun, part of our training was also for these flights and pulling G-forces early on in training. I would get nauseous pretty quickly because we're obviously doing all sorts of aerobatic maneuvers. And so we were told rice and ginger was gonna be our best friend. And so it was this weird kind of balance of trying to get a thick neck to be able to turn your head while sustaining G-forces and having a lot of rice and ginger. But then for Captain America Brave New World, I knew exactly how I wanted him to look. I wanted to look like as shredded as Bruce Lee. And at that point, I basically dropped 17 pounds by clean eating, calorie deficits. So the entire meal plan structure was around essentially, how do I sustain doing 2-a-days, mixed martial arts and weightlifting? And then that was a meal plan that was specifically catering to that. My trainer was like, hey, look, there's 3 plans. I tried 2 of them and they were whatever, but then this third one, it's the healthiest and it tastes the best. And they also make this really organic sauce that I put on it. The pink sauce. It was exceptional. I like to go into my workouts on an empty stomach outside of whatever I put in my shake. I'm eating 12 to 8 p.m. Even if I'm not training, it's somehow became part of my routine. I drink a lot of water in the morning to not be dehydrated going into the workout. Sometimes if I cycle onto a pre-workout, once a month in, and then I wean off of it for 2 months. But basically, I empty stomach workout, then I shower and then have my first meal. A breakfast starts off, if it's me making my food, I go simple. Omelet with tomatoes, mushroom, broccoli. I dice up some ham, no cheese, and again, no salt. If I get crazy, I put a little bit of ketchup, and that was my norm. Even when I was just waking up to go to high school or middle school, it would just be unseasoned eggs. Then lunch, it's like a salad with a protein, romaine, lettuce, sometimes spinach if we're getting crazy. It's either chicken or salmon, balsamic, a little bit of oils every now and then. If I'm training, it's either to maintain or at a calorie deficit. And so the real rough part of the day is that holding me through. And then between breakfast and lunch, I do have a snack. Right now, it's just chicken breast. Microwave it, you eat it as is. Well then dinner right now, since I'm starting to rev up the engine to go into another role that I have to be looking like a pro athlete, it's a Brussels sprout or sweet potatoes and a big protein. So steak or chicken or salmon. Once or twice a week, there's this specific pasta when you gotta do a carb load up for a bigger workout, which is tough. And I think everyone out there that goes through an intense training regimen knows how boring it gets. The real issue is just my tongue is so sensitive because obviously I wasn't raised with any of these insane flavors. My mom was just, that was not her thing. Now my dinners are kind of bland. I don't personally count them. Somebody else counts them based on the goals that we set out. There's been times that I've traveled 2 weeks away from my meal plan, and so it's getting dropped off every day. And I don't like to waste food, and so I have my friends pick it up and eat it. They say that it tastes healthy, and I know exactly what that means. Training, you're able to use all the energy you have and expend it. Whereas diet, if you're at a deficit, you're getting just a little bit close to what you need, but just a little bit less. So you want more. And so that's tougher to maintain that discipline. I think it's steak. I was about to say salmon, but beautiful cut of steak, stunning. I think it's simple with maybe you add a little bit of banana or a strawberry, ISO pure vanilla, sometimes a ginger shot or some turmeric. You add the other healthy things you need in your life that do give it flavor, and that's where it kind of it's a perfect smoothie. Growing up, I had never tried any of these fancy restaurants. For me, fancy was Outback Steakhouse, TGI Fridays, getting some baby back ribs. When we'd go there as a family, I was oh man, we're splurging. Becoming an adult now, it's more about the experience of the flavor profile you're about to hit. And so I'm starting to explore that for dates or friends going out. Those are my cheat meals. Went to Carbone the other day and it was my first time ever. Spicy rigatoni, are you kidding me? Oh. All right, my mom's Arroz con leche is amazing, but my family in Mexico, they had a little restaurant. They make these enchiladas that they made some just for me that had like a specific, not that spicy sauce. Oh yeah, I think it's pad thai. I think it's like if I have a day that I'm like, I'm gonna watch something at home, I order 2 chicken pad thais, a bunch of lime, and then I just wreck them. Because one's not enough. I used to room with Kelvin Harrison Jr., phenomenal actor, and he would roast me to the end of the earth. Like he'd see me making my eggs and he's like, "You gonna eat that?" And I was like, yeah. He's like that? And then he like introduced me to Tony's, which is beautiful seasoning that, sure, it's like not the healthiest, but it was so good. And so I started seasoning. And I think that's why I'm sitting in this chair and it feels like a confession more than anything, is just knowing how all my friends know that I just don't know how to season my food. I've cooked in previous relationships. Then the next step is like, I wanna learn how to make things like properly, like with like perfect fundamentals. I wanna associate myself with companies that make really healthy food, but that's also flavorful. Like I wanna become like a sommelier and use my sensitive palate for good. But I do have a bigger philosophy that's deeper than this, which is more people cook than, like, for instance, people play basketball. And so Michael Jordan being good at basketball is like at a certain level. And so the world's best chef that has ever existed is even better than Michael Jordan was at basketball. And so knowing this, the best chef in the world that's out there dicing things up and throwing down is better than MJ, then I have no space in the kitchen. And so yeah, so that's kind of what scares me from like really throwing down in the kitchen, is knowing that like it's gonna be at best. Smooth. I think the most I've had is like 12 espresso shots in a day. Yeah, I'm a big dipper. If there's ranch, I've started doing that recently, which I used to judge people on. I used to look at people do that and be like, what the are you doing? And now I get it. My final day, organic OJ, croissant, and breakfast burrito. For lunch, a bandeja paisa. Show the bandeja paisa. And then for dinner, steak and rice and beans, just because like I think the moment that the rice and the beans and you start mixing them and they start changing color, and you take one bite of the carne asada and you put some rice and beans on it, and then you take that bite. In the hotel, I'll eat in bed. In the hotel, I'm sorry all hotels out there, yeah, I would absolutely eat in bed. In my own bed, no. I think that's when I became, like, I realized I'm like an adult now, is when I stopped eating in bed. And then if you spill, then you have to take the duvet and the covers out and you gotta wash all that. Worst case scenario is bad. Whew, okay, so all right guys, you got an earful of what I eat, how I eat, and why I eat. Anyway, watch Captain America: Brave New World and eat good, eat healthy, and eat wise.